morning, babes. I know it has been a while, but it is currently 9:15 in the morning, and we have Kingston here. Say hey. So we have Kingston here at the doctor. He has a doctor's appointment to try to get his medication adjusted. I did tell you guys that my son was diagnosed with autism and ADHD, so we're here to get his ADHD medication adjusted. And today's vlog is just kind of going to be about just day in the life with a child that has autism and ADHD. I am going to sit down and have a like question and answer with you guys, and a little story time, because y'all know these people put my baby out of therapy due to behaviors, and they're supposed to be the ones that's working with him. So yeah, we're also gonna touch bases on that as well. But it is currently 10 minutes after 9. His appointment is at 9:15. So we're gonna go ahead and walk in here and just basically show you what kind of happens with this doctor's appointment and some of the things that gets discussed with the doctor. So follow me.
55 and 8 ounces, big boy. All right, come right here. Let's see how tall you are. Can you slide your feet all the way back to the wall? No.
Put your feet on the ball.
Slide. Go back.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, look up for me. Nice and tall. Good job. 50 inches.
All right, y'all. So we are currently in the back of the doctor's office, and the nurse just left out of here. She took his vitals, and me and her had a brief conversation about Kingston's medicine, and that's him in the corner. Well, he just ducked his head down behind the fire truck. He's been acting a little really shy since he's been here, and we just was having a problem with this medication. So that's what this whole visit is about. I currently do have my laptop here with me. I don't go anywhere without it, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of credit repair while we wait on the doctor. And when she gets in, or he or she or whoever's coming in, then I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit of footage while they're in here, because sometimes they are a little iffy about you recording them and what they say. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get a little bit of footage in, but if not, then of course I'll just relay the message. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of credit repair until they come in. Babe, so we're back in the car. It's about 9:55. We got here at 10 minutes after 9, so we're in there approximately like 45 minutes roughly, which is definitely not bad. But me and the doctor, we did go over some good things. I did not get any footage from when the doctor actually came in. However, I did get some really good pictures of Kingston interacting with the doctor. So yeah, once we do our sit down, I'll talk to you guys about what the doctor said and just some of my concerns as a parent with his autism and ADHD, and how we cope and deal with a lot of the things that he goes throughout the day. So we are out of the doctor's office, and I need to get some ink because I have some things that needs to get off my desk today, and I ran out of ink yesterday, and I also have to get some postage. But I'm going to get the ink right now, and then my gas tank is on E, y'all. I'm always riding on fumes. So I'm going to get the ink, then get the gas, and then I'll go back home. So see you guys in a bit. Hey babe, so it's about 9 o'clock at night. The last time we spoke, it was earlier up during the day. I had just got through taking Kingston from the doctor, and I was on my way going to get some ink because I had a lot more work that I had to do. And Nene is in the background crying. I'm not sure why, but yeah. So after I picked up some ink, me and Kingston, we stopped by the bakery that was in town, and then I came home and I did a little bit of work, and he also went to therapy. So as promised, did tell you guys that I was going to tell you about his doctor's appointment. So I did get a little bit of footage from his doctor's appointment. What?
I want to take a
You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
She's crying because she wants to take a picture. So here we go. All right. Say cheese. All right. Go ahead. We're done.
Okay.
So, yeah, so once we got to the doctor's appointment, the doctor appointment was just really like a wellness, because just like I told you guys, Kingston does have autism and ADHD. And
That's me?
yes, that is you. He has autism and ADHD, and pretty much ADHD is an attention deficient hyperactive disorder, and it just means that, you know, he can't sit still. Yes, that is me. So he can't sit still. He's always fidgeting, bouncing around, rocking, shaking, doing something. And on top of him having ADHD, he also has autism. And for those of that don't know what autism is, it is a neurological and developmental disorder that affects the way how people interact with others, communicate, learn, and behave. So, and with that spectrum, that is a very broad spectrum. You have some people on the spectrum that don't talk, they're nonverbal, they don't comprehend or anything like that. But Kingston, he is very high functioning, and he is in a general ed classroom. He does get extra help with like reading. He is very smart when it comes to math. And we have Nene here in the corner being a clown. So just ignore her. But he is very high functioning. He does get help with extra help with like reading, math. He can spit numbers out like that. So, you know, he does have his weak points, and that he has his strengths just like anyone else. So pretty much, I think the thing that he struggles with the most with having autism is his behaviors. Like, he doesn't have any he doesn't have any coping mechanism skills. And what I mean by that is, if he messes up, he thinks that it is the end of the world. He is extremely sad, or he gets extremely angry, and he doesn't know how to come down off of being angry. And I think that. So aside from Kingston having little to no coping skills, the behavior. So his behaviors can become like outrage, like he'll throw stuff, break stuff, bang his head, things like that. It doesn't just happen at home, it happens in school, in public, and we do, as his parents, we get the strange looks, we get the school phone calls from the school. And I guess because he is verbal and he's in a general ed classroom, a lot of people look at him sideways. They just label him as a bad kid, because they look at, oh, if you have autism, you can't talk, or you're supposed to just be handicapped in some form or fashion. And that's not the case for all kids. Some kids just have communication barriers, or they learn differently, or sometimes they just do things differently in general. They line things up. It just depends on, it just really depends on the child. But however, his doctor's appointment was just to kind of revisit and adjust his medication. And so yeah, little story time. So he goes to 2 different therapists. So he goes to one for speech and occupational, and then he goes to another one for behavior. So his speech and occupational therapist did not call me, but sent me a text message and pretty much said that she feels like they aren't getting anywhere with his therapy sessions, and the behaviors they're too much pretty much, and that she wants to give him a break for a couple of weeks. And as his parent, I pretty much felt some type of way about that, because with Kingston, he needs a strict schedule. He functions off of a routine. And by her saying that, oh, we're going to give him a break, that break is not for him, that is for you. If you don't want to deal with my child, just say that. So it definitely took me by surprise, because like I said, she did not give me a phone call. She texted me on a Sunday, and it was no good afternoon, no hi Miss Caesar. It was just like, look, this is what it is, this is what we're gonna do. I was highly offended. So the outcome of that, I ultimately just removed him from the from the program because he can receive speech and OT elsewhere. He gets it in school as well, so it wasn't, it's not that big of a deal. I can sign him up somewhere else. But we are in the process of, figuring out what are his triggers and what are some of the things that it seems like we gain some and we lose some as he gets older. And what I mean by that is some of the things that would bother him last year no longer bother him this year, but now he has new triggers. So it's like we still have to kind of figure out what's going to work. We have to kind of figure out what's going to work for him. And it's constantly changing. His needs are changing as he gets older. So another question that a lot of people like to ask me is, when was he diagnosed and how did I get him diagnosed? So just a little bit of background about me. I do have a medical background before I started working. Before I became a stay-at-home mom, by no form of fashion do I have MD behind my name, but I knew something was not right with my child because he was not meeting all of his milestones. I do feel as though his doctor failed him in the beginning because I was mentioning the fact that he wasn't meeting certain milestones and that they were completely being ignored. However, it wasn't until a day before his 5th birthday was when he was diagnosed. I mentioned it. Once I had Nene, I swapped their doctors all together. And I mentioned my concerns about Kingston not talking properly and doing things. And they jumped right on it. And he had his evaluation at the doctor's office. And I got my results back the next day. And we pretty much just took off from there with getting him into aggressive therapy. Because when he was 5, he still was not like really completely talking. He wasn't making complete sentences, so it was just like cup or juice, or if he wanted something he would just say like 1 or 2 words, not really complete sentences. So I did get that taken care of, but it's different from day to day. Some days we wake up in a good mood, some days we do not. It was at one point in time Kingston was not sleeping at night at all. He would run literally from wall to wall to wall trying to stay up or fidgeting with his fingers at night. So I did have to opt to put him on medication just to get him to kind of calm down and sleep at night, because if he does not have that medication, he does not sleep. And I don't see how he can actually function like that. He is a very picky eater. I just got him to start eating meat. So that's a new thing. He does not adjust to change well. The list goes on and on. I can go on for days about the likes and the dislikes of my child, but I do think that autism is becoming a little bit more common now. Like, I don't know if they didn't have a proper name for it back then, but a lot of kids now are being diagnosed with autism. I don't know if it's something in the water, something in the food, something the doctor's giving us, and I'm not blaming anybody, but more and more kids in this generation are being diagnosed with autism. And I don't think that sometimes there's enough light being shed on autism awareness. So, that's just my take on it or whatever. But at this time, are you there? No, I bet so. So, at this time, it's almost probably about 10 o'clock. The kids are already dressed for bed. I still haven't showered her ever because I was sitting at my desk. Like I said, I had a long day enrolling clients and things like that. So the only thing that I really have to do is I have a couple of dishes in the sink that I'll throw in the dishwasher and clean up the kids' playroom because it is a little messy. I want to say Kingston's upstairs. I don't think he's asleep though, because I think I might have heard him moving a little. Yeah, he's moving, so he's not asleep. I hear him. But my husband is at work. He does not get off until midnight tonight, so I am holding the fort down by myself. I do have to put some stamps on some letters because I'm gonna wear when I go to take Kingston to school in the morning. I'm gonna drop those little bit of letters off so that they'll already be in rotation, and then come back to my desk and finish that up. But as of right now, I'm just gonna go ahead, straighten up in the living room, and just kind of put the kids down to bed. And I'm sorry that Nene is all in the frame and talking, but that is the life of a mama. Every moment is not gonna be perfect. I told y'all in the beginning that it was gonna be raw and uncut, so here you go. That's a razor. No, you can't have it. But just like I said, it is after 10 o'clock. We are going to go ahead and shut it down. So I love you, besties. Have a good night. Also, too, if you have any questions about autism, if you just want to just have a conversation about, you know, how could you go about getting your child diagnosed, if you think your child has autism, or just general questions about myself, my family, how we deal with it, drop your comments or questions in the I'm about to say in the chat. Just comment down below. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close this fort down for the night.